Chicago gangs have a long and complex history, shaped by the city's rapid growth, economic inequality, and racial tensions. From their early roots in immigrant neighborhoods in the late 19th century to their rise during Prohibition, Chicago's gangs evolved into powerful organizations by the mid-20th century. Notable groups like the Black Disciples have become notorious for their involvement in illicit activities, drug trafficking, and violent turf wars. Primarily based in neighborhoods on the south and west sides, the Black Disciples maintain a strict hierarchical structure and are tied to a broader network that extends beyond Chicago. Their influence has been amplified by the rise of drill music, which has brought their identity more into the national spotlight. Drill era. Notable murders in Englewood. Blood Money. Mario Hess, also known as Blood Money, who was the older cousin of Chief Keef and recently signed by Interscope Records. According to his manager and cousin, Ronaldo Ruben Hess told reporters, "This was his dream and he finally got his foot in the door," said Hess. "But that's how it goes in Chicago. He really wanted to get off the streets." Police said Hess, 33, was shot and killed about 9:30 p.m. in the 5600 block of South Elizabeth Street, West Englewood on April 9, 2014. He was found lying on a sidewalk with a gunshot wound to the chest. Hess publicist, Victor Faw, told NBC Chicago the rapper was shot 10 times while on his way to a recording studio. Lil Mister. Lil Mister, cousin of Lil Durk, was shot and killed in Chicago on Friday, March 15, 2019. Born Antoine Fields, Mister was known for contributing to Chicago's infamous drill scene. His breakout track was 2012's No Lacking. The incident happened on the south side of the city in the Englewood neighborhood. Police say the shooting occurred around 7:15 p.m. at the 7400 block of South Harvard Avenue. Mister suffered a gunshot wound to the head. He was transported to the University of Chicago Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. There is currently an ongoing investigation into the matter. Police are still searching for suspects. Lil Jojo. Born April 6, 1994, Joseph J. Coleman, known professionally as Lil Jojo, was an upcoming rapper from Chicago who garnered distinction in Chicago's early drill music scene. He was affiliated with a faction of the Gangster Disciples that is a rival of factions of the Black Disciples. He rose to prominence in the drill scene with his single BDK and its accompanying music video, which was a diss song to rival members that exacerbated already hostile gang disputes.
BDK! BDK!
It is believed that on Tuesday, September 4th, 2012, Lil Jojo's brother Swag dropped Jojo off at 69th and Parnell for a dice game. Jojo was then arrested for gambling and was taken to the station, where he was later released. Around 7 p.m., Jojo would tweet his location taunting his rivals. It's alleged that his ops seen the tweet and started heading to the location in 3 cars, searching the area. Lil Jojo was shot in the back when a car pulled up while he was riding a bicycle in the 6900 block of South Princeton Avenue around 7:30 p.m. He would attempt to flee on foot but collapsed. He was taken to Comer Children's Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Mubu Crump. On May 24, 2018, Mubu Crump, a member of King Louis' Mubu camp, was standing in front of a house in the 6800 block of South Morgan Street in the Englewood neighborhood late night into the morning when shots were fired from a car driving by. The 32-year-old was reportedly attending a party at the time of the shooting. Reports say he was shot twice in the arm and twice in the torso. He was taken to the University of Chicago Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Another man, rumored to be 051 Melly, was shot alongside Crump and was said to be taken to the hospital with serious injuries. He reportedly suffered 5 gunshot wounds to his left arm and was grazed in the head. The 6400 block of South King Drive was known locally as Wick City, but began to be referred to as O Block following the 2011 murder of resident and Black Disciples member O.D. Perry, who was 20 years old. Once home to Michelle Obama, King Von, and Chief Keef. Parkway Gardens Apartment Homes is an apartment complex in the area on the border of Woodlawn and Washington Park. Parkway Gardens, built from 1950 to 1955, was the last of Henry K. Halsman's many housing development designs in Chicago. T.Roy. T.Roy was a well-respected gangster and was regarded as a top hitter in O Block. He was also close friends with King Von. On the morning of Tuesday, February 14, 2017, T.Roy was fatally shot in a store on the south side of Chicago. T.Roy, born James Johnson, died from injuries sustained from a gunshot wound to the chest after walking into a store in the South Shore neighborhood. He was 23 years old.
Right here, man.
Came around right here. The guy was right here. He was getting something off the shelf. Dude walked all the way around, came in his bag, shot him up. He rolled around on the floor. He ended up crawling all the way around here. Up until where my boss was, right here. This way.
Oh, so T.Roy actually crawled in there.
Right here.
Man, you ain't gonna get this nowhere, man. Say T.Roy got shot, he was getting something from over here. Say he was getting something from over here. And as the killers come through the door, and they walked up to him, remember, there was a guy right here standing with him, about right here. He was getting something like right here, and then he ended up getting shot, and he crawled all the way. He crawled all the way to here, man. So that means he was fighting. He was a strong fighter, man.
King Von. Davon Daquan Bennett was born in the Parkway Gardens neighborhood of Chicago August 9, 1994. Many of his most popular songs paid tribute to Chicago. He was best known as a chronicler of street life, building narratives of tense nights on the streets and his desire to escape the gangster's mentality. King Von found success in the city before relocating to Atlanta. Tragically, on November 6, 2020, Von was shot and killed near the Monaco Hookah Lounge on Trinity Avenue in Atlanta. Around 2:15 a.m., a fight broke out in the parking lot between Von and Quando Rondo, which sparked a shootout between two groups, according to police. He was transported to Grady Hospital in critical condition and was later pronounced dead. King Von was 26 years old. The suspect was identified as 22-year-old Timothy Lil Tim Leaks, a rapper affiliated with Quando Rondo. In August 2023, charges were dropped against Leaks under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. In the controversial documentary King Von, rap's first serial killer, Trap Lore Ross uses social media posts, timestamps, lyrics, and police reports to connect Von to multiple murders of alleged gang members. According to the documentary, King Von allegedly committed 5 murders in 2012 and 3 in 2014. In June 2018, Von is said to have taken another life before claiming his last alleged body in March 2019. O Block 6. On January 17, 2024, a federal jury in Chicago convicted 6 members or associates of a violent street gang on racketeering offenses that included the murder of Carlton Weekly, a Chicago rapper also known as FBG Duck. The 6 men arrested include Charles C. Murda Liggins, 32, Kenneth Kenny Mac Roberson, 30, Carlos Los Alford, 32, Christopher C. Thang Thomas, 24, Marcus Moab Smart, 25, and Ralph T.Z. Turpin, 34. The jury found that the defendants, all members or associates of the O Block Street Gang, participated in a criminal organization that engaged in violence to protect the gang's perceived territories on the south side of Chicago. The O Block Gang publicly claimed responsibility for their violence and used social media and music to increase their criminal enterprise. The jury found that the defendants conspired to murder Weekly in order to maintain and increase their positions in the gang. Drill Era. Notable murders in Woodlawn. Tuka. On January 13, 2011 at about 6:45 p.m. Shondale Gregory was shot 4 times at the westbound bus stop of 63rd Street and St. Lawrence. There, he and 2 witnesses had been approached by the gunman who'd asked if another bus were to be coming. The man then moved behind the bus shelter and shot Shondale 1 time with 4 more shots after the first one staggered him to a trash can. The police stated to CBS News that Shondale was allegedly a known gang member. After the death of Shondale, the area would become known as Tukaville. He was only 15 years old at the time of his death. Bloodhound Lil Jeff. Lil Jeff, born Jeffrey Smith, was a rising star in the hip-hop scene known for his distinctive voice and engaging lyrics. He grew up in a challenging environment, which shaped his artistic expression and drive to succeed. Over the years, he garnered a loyal fan base that appreciated his authenticity and raw talent. On June 8, 2024, on the 6600 block of South Rhodes Avenue in Woodlawn, Bloodhound Lil Jeff was shot multiple times and transported to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Reports claim he was shot at least 12 to 15 times. A large number of shell casings were located at the crime scene. Lil Jeff was a former promising basketball player, turned increasingly to street life following the tragic death of a close family member. He was respected in the streets of Chicago for allegedly accumulating a shocking 11 body homicide count in a short span of time. 051 Melly. On September 1st, 2019, 051 Melly, real name Yarmel Williams, was attending a house party located at 6107 South St. Lawrence on the south side of Chicago. Melly was killed in the early hours of the morning after shots rang out during the house party. 051 Melly suffered numerous gunshot wounds to the body and was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Police said witnesses have been uncooperative with the investigation and a description of the shooters was not available. It is alleged that 051 Melly was backdoored. He was just 27 years old at the time of his death. 051 Melly built up a reputation as a savage on the streets, with a homicide body count rumored to be in the double digits. He would become known in Chicago as the Grave Digger.